to Emily A to Z. Today is Sunday, and so we are doing a Stitchy Sunday. I am in my office. What the heck? I feel like you haven't seen me do a video in this particular location in a while. I mean, that's a lie, because I did one at the beginning of the year, just from a different angle, but like in my desk at my computer. And that, my friends, is because I am editing a different video. I am editing my March TBR, which will hopefully, ooh, don't be doing that, will hopefully be available tomorrow. I filmed it on my new camera. My headphones are tangled and I don't want to pull anything off my desk. I'm scared. Oh, sweet Jesus. I filmed it yesterday on my brand new camera, and so I am like at my computer desk, at my PC with some editing software, playing around with this new editing software, and it's a lot. So I was like, I'm gonna start off with one clip, but I really want to put out a Stitchy Sunday video. So here we are on my phone again. Because tried and true, I know that I can film, edit, and upload this from my phone with no problem. So I was like, we're just gonna stick with the basics, what we know, and we'll go from there. This editing software is DaVinci Resolve, and it is like a pro software that they have a free version that they make that is just free for anyone to use, but it still has like pro level tools, and it is a lot to navigate for what I need. But I want to actually edit and stuff not on my phone and be able to use my phone to take photos and videos out in the wild or of my kid or whatever without bogging it down with all of my other videos, right? Does that make sense? Sure. Okay. Anyways, drink break. This is a Dr. Pepper. Delicious. Okay. We are here to go over the Magical Stitches prompts of March, and maybe some wipagories. Maybe I'll talk about wipagories, which is what Sammy of SammyJ Stitches puts on. So that's fun. And I can show you, I guess, some progress that I've made. I did stitch a little bit in February. I don't know. We'll see. Let's just get going. So first and foremost, for Magical Stitches, the book of the month is The Miserable Mill, which is book number 4 in the series of Unfortunate Events series by Lemony Snicket. That's such a mouthful. It's fine though. Book number 4, Miserable Mill. The kids are sent off to their next guardian, just known as Sir, who runs the Lucky Smells Lumber Mill. All of the prompts pertain to the book, and so there are some kind of potentially spoilery aspects. So if you don't want to know about the spoilers, if for whatever reason you haven't read the books before, sorry, and I'm gonna go over them. Maybe skip this or pause as you come to it. I don't know, that's up to you, but here we go. So for number 1, our book opens with the Baudelaire children, and it's right here off my screen. That's why I'm looking over here now. Our book opens with the Baudelaire, I always say it weird, Baudelaire children riding a train to their next guardian, stitch on a whip with a train. I'm thinking automatically for myself. I've got Baby Afghan. It has a toy train on it. Letters from Hogwarts here, which I still haven't touched. At the very top up here, I have the Hogwarts Express. That is a train. So you could do realistic, you could do toy train. It just has to be a train. Number 2, their train ride is through the grim and gloomy finite forest. Stitch on a whip with trees. Self-explanatory. Again, like letters from Hogwarts right here. Those are trees. What else has trees? Any sort of Christmas piece usually has like a Christmas tree on it, or maybe some like Hawk Run Hollows. Those have trees, I think. I'm blanking a little bit, but plenty of options. It's a tree. Number 3, the sad destination of the children is the Lucky Smells Lumber Mill in Paltryville. The definition of paltry is small or meager, so I want you to stitch on your smallest whip. And we define things, like my group of friends and I, or like other stitchy groups may define it as like you take the width times, like the width and the height, and you add them together and then divide it by 2, and then like 0 to 100 is a small, 100 to like 300, 200 something is medium, and then so on is large. You could do that, or you could just look at it yourself and decide like, this is my smallest. Like, that's, you know, I'm not going to be super finicky on it. Number 4, the employees were relaxing by playing games during their downtime in the dormitory. Stitch on a whip related to a game. So for me, I'm thinking all those like the Monopoly board game thing that you could stitch. I'm thinking Royal Games 1 and 2 by Mirabilia. Those are the queens of playing cards. They're directly modeled after and they look like playing cards. Love those. Anything that has a toy on it, Baby Afghan, which is full of toys. One could argue anything with a sports, like this is Quidditch, but it is a game. They play a game. So ultimately, it's more wide-reaching than you think. Don't get so locked in when you first read it. Be creative, think outside the box. Number 5, when asking for information about the owner and the Lucky Smells lumber mill, the workers reveal that they haven't seen the owner in 6 years. Stitch on a whip that is 6 years old or older. So I'm asking you to go kind of back into your older whip lists and, you know, see what you haven't touched in a while, or, you know, it's still hanging around. So 6 years ago would have been what, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Sure. 19, we're going to say 2019, 2020 is your start date for this. One of those. Again, I'm not going to be super nitpicky, but like that's our time frame. Okay. Because it's like 2019 or 2020, you pick. I think my oldest that is like 6 years or older would be, my oldest whip. And then I started Letters from Hogwarts in 2020. That's horrible to say. Baby girl is getting old. Uh-oh. Crapola. I have a 2021 whip, but obviously that won't count. I think that one or my oldest whip would be where I'm at. Number 6, Charles is described when we meet him as wearing a bright blue vest and holding a peach. Stitch 100 stitches in the color blue, or stitch on a whip with fruit. If you choose to do the color task, blue must be in the color name and include the name and floss number in your comment. So 2 options here. Blue, self-explanatory. You only have to do 100 stitches, just has to have blue in the name. When you post your comment, start using floss number, whatever, something blue, right? Do your 100 stitches. If you're doing the peach one, it is the standard 200 stitches. So anything that has fruit on it. Some of my Halloween whip would work. It has a poison apple on there. I don't have anything where I'm working like in blue. I have a whip. So I started this. This is the 2025 Blackwork Sal. Hosted by the Steady Thread. This is just the top border for me. I'm doing mine in like kind of like gym colors. This is a dark green. I have a dark blue picked. That's going to start, it's going to be in the circles. So I could kind of like jump around and go do like the blue if I wanted to, if I only wanted to do 100 stitches. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'm currently, I mean, I have my peacock piece, my peacock biscornu. That's basically all shades of blue. So theoretically I could do that. So, you know, that's an option. Where's that at? This is gorgeous, and I'm loving this still. must have stolen the needle off of this because here's my floss. Just like hanging out. So yeah, this is like all shades of blue. I haven't touched this in a long time. I think there's a pink in here, but it's mainly shades of blue. So like that would be fun to pull out. Here's some other colors. So you could do that. Boop, boop, boop. 7. Sir, however, is wearing a suit of dark green and looks like a reptile. Stitch 100 stitches in green or stitch on a whip with a reptile. If you choose to do the color task, green must be in the color name and stitch the name and floss number in your comment. So same thing. If you do the color, post picture, stitching in floss number, whatever. My brain is saying 860. I think that's a green. Floss name, do your stitches. I'm currently stitching in green. I could stitch the green on that black work. Sal, sorry, my eye is bothering me. I don't think I have anything that has a reptile on it. Is a frog a reptile? No, it's an amphibian. So, because I was like, Harry Potter has a frog. It has a chocolate frog. What is... Oh. But if I had done like the Slytherin banner, that's a snake. So that could have been a reptile. I didn't. I did Hufflepuff. So stuff like that. Other reptiles are lizards. I don't think I have anything that has a reptile on it. So I would have to do the color. Or again, all of this, you could also say fluff you in. And if you wanted to not do the task, you could stitch on your oldest whip for 200 stitches. Get some stitches on that. Or if you also were like, nope, I don't want to do that either, fluff you oldest project, you could pick whatever you wanted and do 300 stitches. I have seen some people have asked if that has changed because I guess a couple people have been doing 500 stitches for penalty. That is not the case. The penalty is 300 and will stay at 300. No more than that. Don't be being crazy. Number 8. Yes. When Charles takes the children to the Lumber Mills library, the Baudelaire children are dismayed to find that there were only 3 books there. Stitch on a whip with books to make up for the books missing in the library. Same thing. That was pretty straightforward. I'm thinking my oldest whip, which is called Read Now. It's got a giant book on the cover. Is that my only one that has a book on it right now? I think so, but that's okay. I don't know if there's any books on the baby Afghan. I don't think there is. I know there are blocks, but I don't know if there's a book. Number 9, the children reminisce on the past guardians they've had. Pick a whip you worked on from a previous month's prompt and stitch on it. So that's what it sounds like. So you could go into January or February and look at what you stitched on in January or February, or what you picked to work on for that prompt, and just grab that one again and give it a couple more stitches. What is happening to me? Number 10, the morning after Klaus's eye appointment, he got up and left without shoes to begin working in the mill. Stitch on a whip with shoes or feet. Again, this is going to sound a lot more complicated than it actually is. If you think about it, basically every creature has feet. So if you don't have anything with shoes, like if you don't actually have a dressed person with shoes on, they do have feet though. So any person is going to have feet. Anything with animals has feet. It's a gimme. Don't get stuck on that part. 11, you're hypnotized. You must pick any whip and do 200 stitches right now. Anything you want. That's freebie. Number 12, Count Olaf has disguised himself as a woman this time. Whoops, spoiler. Stitch on a whip with a woman. Again, straightforward. That can be an adult, a child, like I don't care, it just has to be a female. 13, as part of his disguise, Olaf has painted his fingernails bright pink. Stitch 100 stitches in pink. Pink must be in the color name and include the name and floss number in your comment. This one, there is no other option. You have to do pink. If you don't have a whip with pink, or you're not stitching in pink, or you don't want to, 200 stitches to work on your oldest prompt, 300 stitches to work on whatever you want. 14, Klaus finds inspiration from remembering a fishing trip he went on with his mother. Stitch on a whip with fish. This might be a little tough. I don't currently have anything with fish on it. That is not my area of expertise when it comes to stitching. But I'm thinking anything that's like maybe campground related, or has a lake, or has an ocean. There's some really beautiful like ocean pieces that will have fish on there. So take a look around. And then last but not least, we have 15, which is stitch on a whip that feels lucky to you and explain why. That peacock biscornu, for whatever reason, to me right now, it feels lucky. It feels like if I pulled that out and worked on it, I would have a good time. So like, that's what I would do. So like, I feel like it won't go wrong. I feel like I won't have to frog. Nothing's gonna go kaplooey. Like, it'll be fine. So, excuse me. That's what I would work on. And with that, that's all of Magical Stitches. What is going on with wipagories? Let me take a look about my wipagories. Again, that is what Sammy does. Of SammyJ Stitches, like every month there is like, I believe she has a new graphic that she puts up on Instagram, and invites everyone to join in with her about like to fit this category, and you choose like however much you want to stitch on. And I like to try, but I have not been successful lately. So we've got, for 5 of the number 1 is you haven't stitched on in 2025. I've only stitched on like 2 projects so far in 2025, so that gives me plenty of things. Harry Potter, Peacock, my memorabilia that I haven't touched in a long time. I have options. A large, so that's that size thing, and this is like, I know this is where Sammy counts the thing, so it's height plus width divided by 2, and then it falls into a range. The range is what gets me. I can never remember what the range is, like, to mark it. I think I only have, like, Baby Afghan is large, and I think Harry Potter, this is large, considered large. I think the majority of my things are, like, medium. Number 2 has fewer than 10 colors. So that one could be tricky, but I'm thinking my new Black Work Cell, because I'm only using like 5 colors, 5 or 6 colors. I think the Peacock has less than 10. My Hands-On Design has less than 10. There's only 2 colors. So I've got a couple options. And 4 has no black. And I think Baby Afghan, even though it has like 40 or 50 colors, I don't think it has black. I think it has a dark gray. It does not have black. Peacock Biscornu doesn't have black. Black Work Salad does not have black. I don't think my memorabilia has black. January doesn't have black. Interesting. I have more than I thought. And then the last one is Scenic. I don't know what scenic would work. Like, what does scenic mean? Scenic would refer to anything like a landscape, buildings. I'm thinking scenic photos. I don't think I have anything that fits that. Like, I feel like my closest would be Harry Potter, but even that's not right because it's like blocks of stuff. Woo. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that fits that category. That's okay. That's all right. So that's that. I've wrapped it up. We've covered Magical Stitches. I've got over the wipagories. I'm gonna try doing wipagories. I fail. I have not been in a mood to count my stitches at all. And as someone who runs a group where you count stitches, that's kind of a problem. I have not been wanting to do that. So I want to join groups like Semi Sane and stuff, but it's hard because I've lost the desire to count. I keep track overall of how many stitches I've done, but I don't like using it to reach a goal. That makes me feel burned out. I much rather like just setting the timer and stitching for 30 minutes and seeing where I get in 30 minutes. I have much more fun doing that. So maybe in the future, Magical Stitches will have a non-counting option. I don't know. I don't know how I would work that out yet. So we'll see what I come up with. But that's where I'm at right now. So I want to join in. I like doing these things. Oh, I am doing a semi-sane thing. That's what I mentioned, because it has a non-counting option. It's called Letters of Fortune, and it's like a mix between like Wheel of Fortune and Hangman. So you get like a phrase, and I'll put mine in and like what I have so far. You get a phrase and you guess letters, and each letter is worth a different amount of stitches. So like I think vowels and other letters, you know, so they each have different letter amounts. You guess what it is, and then you owe that stitching. And then as you figure it out, you can like earn entries, right? If you mess up or you're on a roll and then you guess something wrong, you lose all your entries. But there is a non-counting version, and I'm doing that, where basically every day you just post like progress photos, like a start and stop photo. You just don't include a stitch count, and every single day that you stitch, once a day, you can ask. So like we started on the 28th of February, the last day of February. I stitched on February and asked for the letter I. Last night, I stitched for a little bit just watching TV with my husband, and I had requested the letter T. I haven't put in my guess for today yet, so I'll look at that. I'm probably gonna guess for an E, and then I'll stitch like today to like earn my E's, and so on and so forth. And then if I get closer to it, I can guess that I'm solving and stitch to like solve, but I don't have to count. And that has made me want to get back into stitching when I feel like I don't have to count. So that's why I'm like, maybe Magical Stitches, I might have to kind of switch things up in the future. Who knows? I'll figure it out. But thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much, and I'm excited to stitch. I've got a lot of audiobooks this month, so let's hope that I can do some audiobooks and some stitching. I'll see you all very, very soon. Be easy with your hearts.